Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zaire, and I'm joined by the birthday boy himself, Mr. Richard Stambolian.
What's up, my dude?
19 years old.
19 years old, fresh off the boat.
Dude,
just got here from Vladislava.
Is that where you're from? Wow. What is life like there?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Terrible. It's not an iron curtain. It's just an iron potato.
That's it. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
40,
I appreciate it.
What, 42?
42.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 42.
Next year's my year 40.
42, just like Jackie Robinson. I hope they don't turn me into a rotunda.
Can I ask you something?
That's
good one. I like that. I got to ask you this question, okay? And we got an Armenian guy in the chat room too.
Penis still works.
It does. Okay, great. 'Cause that's what happens with Armenians. It just stops at 42. Does your father have a hard time?
I think so. I think my dad's always had a hard time.
Does he have a hard time with your age? Like,
no.
My father and like a lot of other Armenians, I think it's like a Middle Eastern thing too. They're like, what year are you in? Or what year are you going in? Like the way that they ask, like, how old are you? And it's never the answer you give them. I get very uncomfortable when like an Armenian asks me how old I am because it's like the year that we think I am. Like I'm 39. No, the answer is like I'm entering my 40th year. Like that's the proper answer.
Yeah.
What a stupid answer.
It's really bizarre. Yeah, it's very like Eastern European poetic kind of, No. I'm entering my you should say that. I'm entering my 40th year. I'm my 40th era.
Yeah. I'm entering my 40th era.
No, my dad doesn't have a hard time with that.
Okay.
He just like
Does he know how old you are?
No, I don't think
my father either.
I think he'll go every year he does the same thing. He'll go, how old are you? And I'm like 42, and then he'll stop and go, wow. And that's it. Like, he doesn't know how old I am.
Yeah, my father either. MG, how old are you? You're like 140.
Yeah.
Look at him.
142.
Here we go, everybody. The Gilgo Beach Killer right on the air with us. We got the first interview.
Didn't you fight in the Korean War?
Yeah. How did you know?
Do you guys hear my dog barking in the background or no? Because I'm going to have to put him in the crate if he continues.
Ooh,
he doesn't like you.
For some reason, animals love me.
Except my dog.
Love me, except for your giant dog.
Yeah.
Who does not like me.
He doesn't like
But
men.
he doesn't get bitey. He just barks.
He just barks. No, he'll never bite.
And then if I take a step towards him, he'll run away like a lunatic. It's very weird. We got $5 here from Shreya Hashemi.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Rich. Will Double J be invited to Andrew's BBQ? And who gets the first guitar shot?
Oh, me. Rich, you could hit me with the guitar if you want.
Sure.
Rich is allowed to. Happy birthday to Rich.
Thanks, guys.
Where do you want to begin, Rich? You pick.
Let's start right at the top. Apparently, this is real, right? This is not.
This is real. No,
this is real. Okay. AEW issues an updated list of banned and approval required moves. Anyone in violation will be fined. This is bizarre, guys. This is a long, long list of moves. Should we go through the moves?
Yeah.
Moves no longer allowed under any circumstances. Unprotected chair shots. Great. Shots to the back of the head.
Great.
Buckle bombs, blind moves backwards towards the turnbuckle.
Okay, blind moves backwards towards the turnbuckle. So any kind of like, well, I guess, you know what? An Irish whip is a blind move to the turnbuckle.
Well, I mean, you're spinning at the last second.
Okay. What is a blind move to the turnbuckle other than a buckle bomb?
Now, this is real.
This is real.
Okay. Because I feel like it's like I read this yesterday and I feel it's very long. And I kind of felt like the last three things were going to be like chops, punches, kicks.
Fencing response. What is that?
Fencing response, seizure cells.
So I guess what Danielson did.
Right.
Yeah, overselling it, making it look too real.
Spitting.
Okay, blood in the crowd.
No bleeding while in the crowd and no throwing bloody gear.
I don't like the spitting. It doesn't add much to me. Like, does it add anything to you?
I think it depends on the situation. Like, if it's like the guy's he's on his last legs and that's all he could do, if it adds to the story. Weapons, projectiles in the crowd. Taking drinks or food from guests in the crowd.
Well, because of what MJF did. He threw tequila in that kid's face.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't know.
Physical contact with the crowd, e.g. wrestler holding opponent and allowing a fan to chop them. I haven't seen that in a while. Moves that cannot be utilized unless approved by the company's medical team and the producer coach of the match.
Great.
Spots and bumps on the ring apron and outside.
So the hardest side of the mat.
Right.
Okay.
Table, ladder, chair spots in and out of the ring only allowed with padding.
Okay.
Any elevated spots outside the barricades, dives, and ladder spots on stage around the arena and other places outside the ring.
Okay.
All pile driver tombstone variations, including sit-down drivers, inverted poison hurricanrana, and vertebreakers. High-risk dives or top rope moves, 450, 630, double moonsault, SSP, etc.
See, by the way, this is not banned. This is for approval.
Just needs approval.
So the reason for this is that we're seeing too much of the same moves in every match.
Right.
Like,
that makes sense.
You don't need a tombstone in 3 matches. I forgot what it was. It was one of the pay-per-views.
Everybody did a Canadian Destroyer.
Everybody did. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. Was it a Canadian?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the same thing, and it takes the umph out of it.
But if this is being coordinated with the producers and the higher ups, and if they have the ability to say like, sorry, Orange Cassidy, you can't do the Canadian Destroyer because Jericho's doing one later on.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Totally
Great. Throwing people through over ring steps, commentary table, bell table, or guardrails, barricades. Okay. Weapon usage: chairs, pipes, kendo sticks, hammers, ring bells, bats, chains, title belts, thumbtacks, skewers, barbed wire, and other sharp puncturing objects, powders, aerosol sprays, or liquids.
Okay.
Throwing any weapon, objects, or chairs, choking, strangling with hands or weapon, injury spots or angles, whether or not medical is involved or called to the ring, any physicality in the crowd brawling, any physicality toward referees, managers, extra celebrities, or special guests. Now, this is approval.
This is approval, which it needs to be. Listen, you can't, you're going to do a barbed wire in every match. You got to, listen, a lot of this is broad.
Right.
It's not going to change the presentation of TV. I think it's going to help it. Just tightening things up, which you should. Unprotected chair shots are not needed.
Not cool.
You could put your freaking hand up and it gives you the same effect.
Right.
Doing this versus whatever, same effect.
The tough guy shit.
Yeah.
Bachelor $3,000.99. Happy birthday, PMX. Thank you very much.
Yeah, your PMX.
PMXing, baby.
PMX 2000.
Let's see. Warner Bros. Discovery has been in favor of the AEW. Oh, we're moving on here.
Yeah, we're moving
on. So that's kind of weird. Whatever. But it's good if it keeps the guys healthier and safer.
Yeah.
Also no chops, no kicks, no punches.
Yeah. No arm bars, no hip tosses, no to the ropes.
No headlocks.
Yeah.
No kissing.
It's gonna go.
Kissing.
No kissing. It's gonna. I don't see kissing on this list. It's gonna go back to like a 1940 style of like
one
headlock, one takedown, and that's it.
Dude,
you know what's missing from the list that I find interesting? Fire, like fireballs and things like that.
I'm sure they can't list everything, right?
Right.
I'm sure somebody can be like, "You didn't say I can't use a hammer.
You didn't say I can't use a handgun."
There's no guns on this list.
No dynamite.
No dynamite.
Warner Bros. Discovery has been in favor of expanding the AEW pay-per-view schedule.
Yes.
Per Fightful Select, Warner Bros. Discovery and AEW are in rights negotiations right now, with Warner Brothers pitching an expanded pay-per-view schedule, as many as 1 per month. How do you feel about that?
So we reported this like in March, that this was something that was being discussed, that Warner wanted it but a lot of this, remember, okay, there's a couple variables here, and I'm going to fill in some blanks. Sean did a fantastic job with this report. Fightful did a fantastic job with this report. Some of this is obviously in preparation to get the most bang for your buck, right? WBD will be paying them more money. Whether it's that $1 billion deal or whatever they want to say it is, they need to generate more revenue as well.
Yeah.
You could do that with TV. Obviously, you added another TV show, so you're selling more ads, but the cost goes up also. But something that they could tap into that's really not being utilized right now is 12 pay-per-views a year. Here's the issue, though. Are you willing to pay $50 a month?
I've already done that shit.
Listen, I know, but we did. We did.
Yeah, we used to do that
twice
back
a
in the
month.
day. Yeah.
Sometimes 3 times a month.
Yeah.
We did this. We're in a very different structure. Consuming does AEW have enough of a dedicated fan base to generate 120,000 to 160,000 monthly pay-per-view buys?
No, I think it takes away from it. I think it takes away from the product.
Yes.
Because you look for, me personally speaking, I think you too, 4 times a year, great. Lots of TV specials, great. You know, like this Saturday night, for example, they're doing Battle of the Belts right after Collision, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, I like the stuff that they do as far as like their gimmick shows, you know, when they do their version of Batch at the Beach, when they do all that, and, you know, those are free. Having 12 pay-per-views, I think, is a stupid move, you know, especially because I feel like AEW has a younger audience that they're not kids, but I feel like they have a younger audience. Like, who's going to pay $50 a month?
Well, here's the other part to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it make sense if it's on HBO?
Yes.
It makes way more sense if it's a one-time fee. Here's the problem with that. Okay. I spoke to somebody on that side of the technical side. HBO Max or Max is not prepared right now to do this.
They can't do a streaming.
They don't have the infrastructure isn't built in.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that they're not working on it, because they are. We know that they are, because they want to do this with sports as well.
Yeah.
The pay-per-view business is a tremendous business for them. BR is a outdated platform for this.
Yeah.
So they are working on it. I don't know when it's going to be right. I don't have a time frame, but I know that as of today, as of July 14th, they don't have that in place.
Yeah.
The other thing I confirmed with somebody today, double confirmed, that AEW, so All In is a big question, right? What do you do with All In? Right. Is it going to be free? Are you going to give it for free? Are you going to charge a pay-per-view fee? And then you're going to charge another one the following month?
Right.
Following week? You're going to do $100? Well, it is a pay-per-view on BR.
Interesting.
Okay? Right now, I believe, okay, I'm not 100% on this, but I believe they're working on some sort of bundle to get both.
Okay.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that it was a discussion. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if BR has that ability, but BR is very limited and they need to get off of it. And a lot of this has to do with, you know, the next step in their TV.
Yeah.
However, somebody has, Viken in the chat room said, will the 12 pay-per-views just be AEW or Ring of Honor? This is not a Ring of Honor conversation.
No, this is straight up AEW.
So if you're doing that, do you need Ring of Honor to have a pay-per-view? Do you still do it?
Do you lump it in? Do you have every other one be a Ring of Honor? It's very interesting what they're doing, and I feel like, I don't know, me personally, I think it's just a mistake. I think this is how you lead to burnout.
Well, part of the other issue is, think about the story that they need to tell. Like, MJF wins the title. He's not doing the program. Like, you're going to do a program for 3 months?
Right.
Your pay-per-view program? It's a little long.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of want to, like, Adam Cole and him should have a match next month by wrestling standards.
Yeah.
Right? It's not happening. It's going to happen in September or whatever. My studio's breaking as we speak. Everything's falling apart here. So I don't know. I have no problem with the monthly pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know the logistics of how much you're going to pay. So if you do double pay-per-view, right? You're now, how many did I have this year? You have 8?
Yeah.
Right? What do we have?
Well, if you count the ROH,
let's do it. No. Forget about ROH. Let's do
5.
Revolution, All In,
5. Double or Nothing,
Out, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, and Full Gear.
Okay.
Right? You got 6 pay-per-views this year. Am I right on that?
Where are you getting 6? It should be 5.
Forbidden Door.
1.
All In.
2.
All Out.
3.
Full Gear.
4.
Revolution.
Okay.
5.
Double or Nothing. 6.
Okay. You're talking about this year. I was thinking you were late last year. Gotcha.
Well, I'm talking this year. Thank you. I'm talking from January to December. Yeah, well, dude, why are you living in 20? See, this is, I told you, he's a time man.
He's a time man. Guys fought in every major war of the 20th century.
Does it make sense for you to cut him in half, the price? Because if you cut it in half, you're breaking even.
I think if you want to give the fans an incentive, for some reason I feel like would be an incentive. Don't make them 50, make them 35.
Make them all $35.
I feel like people would be more apt to pay if it was just straight $35. You get 5 hours of because those pay-per-view. Listen, you get your bang for the buck. You do. If you're paying $50 for All In or Forbidden Door, you're getting your money's worth, right? I think if they do 12 months and do it at 35, that's a way better scenario than like $50, $50. Here's a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Give us this, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just like, it's easier on the fans.
Or they've looked at the economy of this and they believe that people will pay $50 a month for a pay-per-view. That's a subscription service now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if they, like, I think we're also spoiled by the WWE network that got looped into Peacock, and Peacock's $5 a month, you know? And I've never had a problem. Honestly, like, I know people bitch and moan. I have never had a problem streaming with the Peacock app on my TV, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just goes. You know, $5 a month, you get a ton of stuff. If they can do that somehow with AEW at one point soon, great.
Yeah, listen, also, by the time that they implement this, it's possible that Max is functional for what they want to do. But you have a lot of conversations here with this deal. You got next day rights.
Yeah.
You got archival rights. You got Ring of Honor's archive. You have live specials to go on BR or to go on Max. You got pay-per-views to go on Max. You have all these other options. They're also looking at doing more AEW level shows.
Right.
You know, intertwining in the Turner properties. So, listen, man, I've been saying this for a long time. RJ City and Renee Paquette should have a cooking show on the Food Network.
On HBO Max, on the Food Network.
I think RJ City needs a unsolved mystery type show on True TV.
I'd be okay with that.
Like a Chris Hansen show?
Like
oh man.
To catch the Predator?
To catch the Predator with RJ City?
I'd be into that. Now question for you.
Yeah.
Has WWE at any point kicked themselves for not getting that ROH library? Or is it just like...
No. They actively wanted that.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, they actively wanted it. ROH was falling apart, and WWE came in and offered them. They lowballed them. But a lot of the ROH deal, and I think it was a very smart move by Tony, and it was to block WWE from consuming the entirety of professional wrestling. They own all of wrestling. There's not too much out there that they don't. I think there's some Continental that they don't own.
They own all of WCCW, right?
They own all of WCCW. They own all of AWA, whatever's available.
Do they own Memphis now, or am I wrong about that?
There's some weirdness with Memphis. I think they own like half of it, but you know, Memphis was like multiple territories, so they own some, not all. You know what's wild?
Do they own Stampede?
They own Stampede.
Shame.
Some, I think, not all. Some. They don't own like the new Stampede.
Okay.
You know, I think it's a positive to have someone else hold on. Like, I know that they were actively looking to purchase TNA's library at one point too. But now you know, the power should be in different positions. I think you need other options. Here's the other issue, right? WWE has FCW. That is not on the network. None of FCW is on the network. None of OVW.
That's fascinating. I always found that fascinating.
Really weird. Why not?
Yeah.
Right? And that's the danger of this. If one company controls all the assets, then what are you going to do?
Right.
Very interesting. But I think this is progress. I think this is a positive. I think the announcement's going to come soon. I expect probably sometime in the fall.
Yeah.
Maybe September. But they're actively, I mean, they're deep in negotiations, and the WBD people are thrilled with AEW. And listen, man, there's a writer's strike and there's an actor's strike.
Yeah.
SAG and AFTRA's on strike, and the Writers Guild is on strike.
Crazy,
so guess what?
Huh?
Guess what happens? AEW, WWE become even more valuable.
They become
to
hotter.
These networks.
Yeah.
They become even more valuable to them.
Because they're outside. They're on the fringe of entertainment. Still, wrestling is still on the fringe of entertainment. So, like, you know, WWE writers can't go on strike, right? Because it's not. It doesn't.
I think. I believe they have had writers in the past that are part of
the Writers Guild.
Yeah. So I don't know how that works. If it's a non-union job, which is not, it's a non-union job. I don't know if you go on strike, even if you're a member. I don't know.
I think I'm pretty confident that WWE is non-union with their creative. So
you think I would side with the actors and writers, or you think I'd side with the big corporations?
I think you'd side with the big corporations.
I would too. Yeah.
But
listen, Fran Drescher had a great point yesterday. I am a Jeff Bezos. Fran Drescher had a great point about this, right? So a lot of the issues with AI technology that the actors are like, what the hell, right? And a lot of people are like, well, these millionaires, these tens of millionaires are complaining for more money. No, actually, what they want to do is if you are a background actor, right, for the studio, They scan you once, and now they use you infinitely.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
they pay you for one day's rate, so you can be in 8 different movies.
Well, you got to negotiate that shit.
No, they're saying no. That's the whole thing. They're saying, well, we're going to scan you. We're going to pay you like $1,000 for that one day rate.
Yeah.
And now we're going to put you in every movie.
Yeah. It's wild, man. It's wild. I mean, like...
And I get that. I'm like, you know what? That is shitty.
On the weird end of it, I know you're not a Star Wars guy.
Star Wars. But
they brought back, like, Peter Cushing, like, what they modeled with AI, I believe, and they brought back... they de-aged Carrie Fisher at one point, you know. They de-aged Luke at one point,
the estates got the money. I'm sure they got the money
Wild,
for that.
yeah.
Like that's a little different, but
this is the next step of like the Tupac hologram, right?
Mm-hmm. I thought we would have seen concerts by now, hologram concerts,
full-blown Tupac
like
hologram.
Elvis.
Oh boy,
A Michael Jackson. We did see the Michael Jackson hologram concert. Remember? Didn't they go on with like the older Jackson 5, and they all went on stage and danced with Michael?
I don't remember that.
Maybe I hallucinated.
Fever dream?
Dude. It could have been a fever dream.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe's injured and out of Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor, the world title match. Tony Khan tweeted out they'll address Claudio's opponent after Blood and Guts. Do you think it's going to be Kota Ibushi? I think it's going to be Eddie Kingston. Well, it can't be Eddie Kingston. He's in the G1.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. I hope it's someone good. I hope it's not just like filling in the blank. Maybe you could bring in a former champion. And was Mark Briscoe supposed to win the title? Does Claudio need that title? I don't think Claudio should have that title.
I don't need that title. What if they brought back, what's his name? Jonathan Gresham.
They could do that.
I feel like that would pop the crowd like big time.
That would pop the crowd.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who it could be. MG, who do you think?
Well, I was the one that suggested Kota Ibushi.
You know what? You're absolutely right. You know what? That does make sense. You could do that.
Yeah, you could. Let's see what happens after Blood and Guts, though.
Right. You know.
Because folks are saying, you know, the rumors, and you mentioned this the other day, too, Kota turning on the Golden Elite.
I would love that.
Because there's still unfinished business.
And that's your all-in match.
Right. There's still unfinished business from, like, the storyline in New Japan from all those years ago. Very interesting. So apparently there was a backstage discussion that took place after the Raw main event. It was first described as a major argument, and then it was said to be more of a discussion about a spot during the match.
Who?
I'm not 100% sure. I did not watch the entirety of Raw this week.
Yeah, but who's the argument with? MG, do you know?
It was the main event. So Kevin Owens, Sammy, Seth, and Judgment Day. So somewhere in there was a problem with the spot, and it got out of hand.
I'm saying, is the argument between the talent, or was it like in the back? They went to the back and they're like,
it was in the back. It was in the back, and it was kind of one of those. And some people took it out of context, I think, and reported it, and then it got kind of hush hush. Oh, we were just discussing a spot or something. I thought it was interesting because it kind of got blown up as a big thing because people were trying to make it. Compare it to Brawl Out or the Muffin Gate, and it was nothing close to that.
Muffin Gate.
Ever.
That's what the MG stands for.
Muffin Gate.
Muffin Gate.
What did you call him today? Mr. what?
Mr. Gremlin.
Mr. Gremlin. Last week's SmackDown featured the trial of Roman Reigns. I was there.
That's right. Yeah, you had a good time.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
It drew 2.5 million viewers with a 0.76. I was sent a 0.80.
Interesting.
So I don't know if WWE's rounding up those numbers or not. They sent me a 0.80.
Oh, WWE fudging numbers? Get out of here. That's crazy. That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
18 to 49 demo. It could have been a 0.80 for men. It could have been a 0.9. It could have been a 1 for men if you're doing 18 to 49 men. That's up 10% from last week. Also, Tuesday's NXT featured Judgment Day, averaging 671,000 viewers. Great numbers for NXT.
Yeah.
So I had a great time. I had a suite. I took the kids. I took Jess.
Yep.
Jess was rocking the NWO shirt. Mike Johnson was in the suite. We were talking about the Mets and Flushing. He's a Flushing boy. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a Flushing boy. We were talking about Flushing and just being in New York. I had a great time. He goes, give Dave a message. And he punched me right in the belly.
Oh.
I threw up everything.
Why?
So much cocktail sauce.
Threw up the 6 hot dogs you ate?
Dude, you had to see Hunter.
I know.
That kid was in heaven. He walked in like he owns that room. He's like, they got a hot dog machine? I ate just all the hot dogs. It was a blast. I had a blast. Great people in that room too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Highlights from Raw this week. Cody Rhodes demands a third match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam and wants Lesnar to show up on Raw next week to answer him. Great. This is Cody wins, right?
Yes.
Logan Paul and Ricochet had a face-to-face.
Why were you going to say riffraff?
I was going to say Ricochet.
Ricochet. Riffraff the rapper.
Logan Paul and Ricochet had a face-to-face. The highlight was Ricochet flipping from ring to the floor.
Ricochet cut a decent promo here, too. They gave him some time to talk, and it was great.
I think this is good for both guys.
Yeah. I think they're going to have a fun match.
And the Judgment Day beat Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's birthday was yesterday. July babies, baby.
Was it?
Yeah. Next week, Raw in Atlanta. Brock Lesnar appears. Atlanta, Cody's hometown. Gable and Otis versus Eric and Ivar. Great. Rodriguez, Morgan versus Green and DeVille. Great. Riddle versus Gunther. Fantastic. Non-title.
Yeah. AEW Dynamite from last night. What did you think?
Last night?
Wednesday night.
Where are we? It was a good episode. I was very entertained. I was happily watching it. The this is, I hope I don't get too much shit for this.
Okay.
But Commander's whole superpower is, can you wait while I do this?
Yeah.
Can you give me a minute? And then he'll do some shit. And then the guy's like, I feel like Jericho's not the guy to do that with.
Well, Jericho was doing the Street Fighter 2 stunned.
Yeah.
He was doing one
repeatedly.
Of these, like just standing there. Listen,
I get it. It's pro wrestling, whatever. But I feel like when the move, for me personally, if you're doing shit like that, make it a little more snappy, like the way Phoenix wrestles, right? Because
very snappy.
Arguably, Phoenix kind of does the same thing, but he's very snappy, right? There's like very little time. But with Commander, and not a knock on Commander. With Commander, it's very much like, just give me a minute. Can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
Can you give me a minute?
It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was but like these wacky matches I'm into.
Yeah.
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work as well. I thought this was somewhere in the middle. Right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I agree 100%. Don Callis came out. Heat on this guy.
Major.
Again, trying to get Jericho to join him for the second week in a row. I really like this whole thing with them, and they showed that old video clip of them. Don Callis, long hair,
Cyrus,
crazy, right?
Cyrus the Virus.
Their old trainer.
Where do you think his career would have been if he was the higher power?
I think he would have been bounced at some point. Like if they made him or Christopher Daniels the higher power.
The Jackal would have been the higher power.
Right. I think they would have gotten rid of both those guys at some point. I feel like they're like, I do think that it was pure ego on Vince's part to make himself the higher power because there was nobody else that he could trust in that role.
I think what ended up happening is, I believe the story is that they started the story without having the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Because we heard the rumors. It was supposed to be, there was rumors. Chris Daniels, I have no idea how accurate that is,
mm-hmm.
right? Chris Daniels was going to be the higher power. I heard the Jackal forever.
Yeah. Warrior was the rumor.
Warrior was another one, which, by the way, that is ours. No, that's our rumor.
Is it?
You don't remember when we fantasy booked the Ultimate Warrior in WWE? When he becomes the higher power?
We've been doing the show so long, I can't even tell anymore.
We did a fantasy booking of if Warrior had re-signed in 98.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they had that conversation that Vince had sent him that letter offering him a job in 1990. Right. So I think it was December 97 he offered him a contract, and it was a 5-year deal. So it would have brought him into 2022, 2023. If he had, the odds of that ever happening were slim, but just the fun that we could have had with this.
I think so.
I'm the higher power. He could have been doing that.
You know who?
666 on his chest.
Oh, so good.
Drew, you made that. You did it. He was an acolyte.
You know what? You're right. You know who would have been a great higher power?
Who?
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh man. But is he a goth boy?
Yes.
Yes.
But he's still Shawn Michaels.
But a goth boy.
Yeah. Like a goth Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I'm into this.
Because imagine him taking the hood off and you see that $1 million smile and you're like, oh shit.
Eyeliner.
He looks like Sensational Sherry.
Yeah. Tease the hair.
Sherry would have been a good higher power.
Sherry would have been a good one. I also, Jake Roberts was a rumor. $1 Million Man was another rumor.
That would have been good too.
And then I guess they went with Vince, and for all that it was, and I honestly think the reason why it's engraved in our memories is because Jim Ross, he sold it.
Yeah.
And two, what a disappointment it was when we found out it was Vince. We all felt that, oh, son of a bitch.
Deflated. Completely deflated.
Do you know, we were at Taekwondo that night.
I remember that.
And I left early.
Yeah.
I got my mom to pick me up at 8:40.
So you could see the higher power.
So I could see the higher power.
Yeah.
Never forget that day. It was in August, right? It was the summer.
I think so. Wild.
Yeah.
But I do like, you know what? They use that clip ad nauseum though. So they make you forget. WWE makes you forget. Like, they do that revisionist history. They make you forget how terrible some things were sometimes, because their highlights are always the best. Their Attitude Era highlights, nothing beats them.
No, they look great. They look bonkers.
And we talk about this all the time. Like, a lot of the Attitude Era stuff that was going on was a lot of hits and misses, a lot of misses.
Do you know what I watched with Jess the other night? Do you remember the Dustin and Marlena segment?
Which one?
Okay, it was a shoot, right? They were out of character, and they were doing an interview with Jim Ross, and they were talking about their marital issues.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Dustin just dives deep into what like just the meanest, and Marlena. I mean, I don't know how great of an actor Terry Runnels is. But it's like, why are you saying this? Like, why are you like? It was almost like, oh crap, it was real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy moly! Like, and she's watching. She's like, why would they put this on TV?
Yeah.
Like, it's so serious. And then the next clip is Luna Vachon walking him like a dog with a ball gag in his mouth, and he's wearing like a green outfit and a thong.
Listen.
So wacky.
Also, I would argue the point that the Ruthless Aggression Era was match wise,
10 times.
10 times better, But you can't beat that Attitude Era main event scene. Austin, Rock, Mankind, Undertaker, Kane, Triple H, right? Like, it's tough to beat that. What do we have now that's that equivalent? Is it the Elite and the BCC? I think so.
I feel like because of how media is, there's so much content that you consume, nothing actually holds
weight.
Okay. Like seeing Steve Austin on live TV flipping the bird over and over and over again, and like attacking this one, or seeing Gold Dust, or seeing the Undertaker. It was gnarly. It was wacky.
Yeah.
There was a guy doing human sacrifices on TV every week. They tried to impale the Steve Austin. If they did,
they crucified him.
They did crucify him. If they did any of that today, people would say it's hacky, it's stupid, because we've seen everything already.
Do you think backstage Austin was like, "Sure, I'll be Jesus.
I'll save you.
You got it. I'll be Jesus in this situation. I'll drink beer for your sins."
He does drink beer for his sins. That's absolutely correct. Don Callis came out to a symphony of booze to try to get Jericho to join the family for the second week in a row. MJF, Adam Cole are at a bar.
Love it.
I loved it.
Love it.
I did not know how much I would like this segment. I didn't know if I would like this wacky, odd couple buddy cop film that they're putting.
It's great. They have such chemistry.
It's great chemistry. And do you know them playing the AEW game? I was told that it may have been a reference to Mick Foley and The Rock playing video games together.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did like what did he say in the bar where he was like, "You ladies want to hit the restroom with me?"
Yeah. He's like, by my account, by my math, 2 for you and 2 for me.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was great was when they were doing the gaming thing. And all of a sudden, MJF goes, "Yeah, this would be great, but you need friends to play video games," or something like that. I was like, "Oh, it's so good. Like, his delivery's so good."
Dude, MJF will be the biggest. He's such a good babyface. Such a great, he's somewhat likable.
Right.
And it's crazy to think that what is happening. Ooh, you got a hair and a thing hanging.
Oh, clean your desk.
I was doing Santeria before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. There's a lot of that explains the chicken bones.
Yeah.
The litmus test that they're doing now with MJF as a half babyface is going to put him so over.
Yeah.
Which I think that's where he needs to be as a champ, right? Because I still think the MJF stuff is taking a back seat. I'm glad they put him in a tag thing to protect him, because I feel like the MJF stuff is taking such a back seat to the Golden Elite and BCC stuff.
Yeah.
Those are like the big boys.
Well, this happened with Max last time too. There was a big hot angle he was in and got overshadowed by something. I forgot what it was. But I think this is good. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara defeated AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin in a blind eliminator semifinal. Swerve came out through the crowd to interfere, costing Darby the match. Sammy hit the GTH. Go to heck.
Go to heck.
For the win, but didn't know what happened. Okay. They put on a great video package for Nick Wayne ahead of his match with Swerve later. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole defeated Big Bill and Brian Cage with Prince Nana in a blind eliminator match. This was the quintessential fun house show main event.
Great.
Right?
Yeah, great
Everything
stuff.
was safe. It was funny. There was comedy spots.
Body slam.
And listen, man, you could do all the 450s you want.
Exactly.
You could go through every table. You could cut yourself. You could bleed everywhere. You could get impaled and sacrifice. But this is a great example of the art of professional wrestling.
Exactly.
On how a body slam could get the same exact reaction as one of the most devastating professional wrestling moves, that you could do.
Or like the pose off, like Brian Cage coming out doing like the muscles, and then Adam Cole doing it, and the crowd being in his corner.
Yeah.
Like that's really all you need. Great pro wrestling.
I love this. I think they need to do something with Big Bill.
Yeah.
Not because he's from Queens, New York.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Malloy or Holy Cross?
Malloy.
He went to Malloy?
Yeah.
He's a local kid. Grew up in the neighborhood. I got to be behind him. We got to root for him. He's 7 feet tall.
I still think he should be called Big Billions.
Big Billions.
Yeah. Not Big Bill. Big Bill is just...
He needs a better name.
Stupid.
He needs a better name.
I'll put it right out there. Yeah, I think he needs a better name.
Yeah, he does. Kaz was great.
Big Cass, yeah.
Big Cass was cool.
Great.
Big
Identifiable.
I know he's William. Big William. Large William.
Large William. William Billions.
William Billions. Bill.
Bilbo.
Bilbo
Baggins. Bilbo Baggins. There you go.
Now we're back in the Hobbit. But he's the biggest Hobbit of them all.
I think that would be great if he was just, his gimmick was just, he's a big fucking Hobbit.
He's like, like how we look at smaller people, right? Like, okay, he's a little person. That's fine. It's the opposite for them. They have that. That's the thing.
He's so big. Whenever I see him, I remember Hogan saying, "Oh, too bad this kid wasn't around back in the day. Me and him could have main evented around the country."
Hogan did an interview with Men's Health, okay, to talk about like what his regiment was when he was like working out and everything. He's like before the match, 2 Miller Lights. After the match, 12 Miller Lights. And I'm like, that's what you ate?
Beers on ice, dude.
Beers on ice. I know beers on ice, but that was your dinner. Like that's amazing. You got it to that size with that kind of food.
That was it. What was I think Big Show said that too, where he was like, I would work out with Hogan until like 2:00, and he'd go pick up his kids, and then they just sit on the beach and drink beer the rest of the day.
Fucking great, right? Isn't that great? What a great life. Jake Hager tells Jericho
we're all
he can't stand by his side until he makes a decision on Don Callis, and he gives him his hat.
Sold that hat, man.
Great. Fantastic. Like, Ruby Soho defeated Sky Blue in the Owen Hart tournament. Sky Blue is a big fan favorite right now.
Really enjoyed this match, actually. Yeah. Really enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
Swerve with Prince Nana defeated Nick Wayne.
Great match.
They
gave Nick everything.
Looked awesome. Crowd was behind him.
Right person won. Swerve should have won.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great win, too.
Yeah. The program is continuing throughout the summer. Listen, man, the kid's 18. He just turned 18 on Monday.
Yeah.
And he's on national TV with a contract to a professional wrestling company. His father, Buddy Wayne, his grandfather was also Moondog Moretti.
I'm not.
Moondog Moretti.
Yeah.
What, I'm right? I'm right.
Moondog Ed Moretti, yes.
Ed Moretti, yeah. He was a grandfather, third generation professional wrestler. I think a lot of people know the story about Buddy Wayne.
Yeah.
Trained a lot of great people. Brian Alvarez, trained by Buddy Wayne. Darby Allin, trained by Buddy Wayne. Vinny Verhey from F4W, trained by Buddy Wayne. What a laundry list of Hall of Famers there.
Yeah.
Amazing. Big fan of Big Vinny. Swerve Strickland looked like $1 million.
Absolutely.
And you know what's funny? Swerve's not a big guy, right? He's not a big guy.
He sells it though.
He's deceivingly looks smaller on TV. Next to Nick Wayne, which, the kid's in good shape. He's a kid. He's 18. He's lean. He's going to put on muscle.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 280 pounds next to this guy. He looked like Triple H in 02.
Yeah, yeah.
He actually said Nick Wayne. Not knocking Nick. Listen, man, it makes me happy when you see these things.
Absolutely.
Like I'm always rooting for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to be successful. To have this opportunity given to them.
Yeah.
Right? Through hard work. Not like he was given something. Through hard work.
Yeah.
It's great. And I hope he has a very long and successful career.
Same here.
Who my comparison is, right? My comparison for him, who I think he's going to grow into, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Will was a teenage
very similar.
prodigy.
You can see that, right?
Yeah, I could see that. Very similar, like the way they move in the ring. Very similar.
Build and yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think. Hopefully, he stays healthy. He's, people have said this kid's a prodigy. For like the last few years too. It's awesome that he's on national television. But apart from that, I still want to.
What was my favorite song by him?
What?
Firestarter.
Oh yeah. My fanboy thing is I still want a nice and long program between Swerve and Mox.
We may get that.
I just feel like those guys would click so well together in the ring.
Swerve is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's
not
great.
Because it's one of my friend's cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Not because of that. Not because he's one of our friend's cousins, Rich. But he's remarkable. We saw him at Evolve. How many times?
Oh yeah, a ton.
AR Fox too. Another great talent.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory, another great talent we got to see. There were so many guys that we got to see.
That came from Evolve, yeah.
That came from Evolve, which really cool. I mean, if Evolve was around, Nick would have been probably there
probably.
too. Oh, actually, no, maybe not. New York State Athletic Commission.
That's right.
Don Callis came out to a lot more boos and calls Kenny a coward. And Punk before. Every time I see Punk, I'm like, oh, see him, Punk?
Mm-hmm.
Before Kenny came out, Kenny comes out. He's attacked from behind by Pac.
Looks like $1 million.
Dude, he is gigantic.
He's an action figure.
He is an action figure.
Mm-hmm.
He looks so good. He looks gnarly. What was his injury? His nose?
I think so, yeah.
That promo was killer.
Yep.
He said, you shattered my nose and you took my months off of my career. He did his whole thing. He's the fifth man. Mox, Takeshita, Pac, all beating down Omega, trying to Pillmanize him. Kenny then starts talking, and I didn't understand anything he said.
Okay.
He's like, and then it goes black. I'm like, oh shit, Sabu.
Well, I think he said was, we still got a fifth man. Look at the screen, you bitch. And then that's when it went. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, right, MG? Yeah.
Look at the screen. Look at the screen. He said it like 2 times in a row.
Okay.
And he was he had that cynical, maniacal giggle he had going on
when
he did it.
I was hoping it was Sabu, and he's on the top turnbuckle, and he goes to jump on Palace, but he falls on Kenny anyway.
We've done this already.
So, who's on the big screen? It goes black. All of a sudden, boom, the golden star, Koda Bushi.
Yeah.
I went nuts.
Yeah, you love him.
I did a backflip.
Yeah,
right through my window onto a motorcycle, and then I did a fucking wheelie.
He's 400 years old. That man.
He is. He's ancient.
He's ancient. He's a relic. It's unbelievable. He looks unbelievable. They show that Kotobushi is the Elite's fifth man. The Young Bucks and Adam Page clear the ring and end up the show. So Kotobushi is now Elite.
Can't wait. Golden Elite, man.
Finally happened, and I think this is great. If I am doing anything here, okay, if I am booking this. Andrew Zarian is booking.
Yeah.
I know people at AEW listen.
Let's do it.
Okay?
Don't listen.
I am very quick at pulling that trigger on him being a member of Callis's family.
Kotobushi.
Costing the Elite the match.
Okay.
And now the freaking match at All In is Kotobushi versus Kenny Omega. That's a huge match to do.
I like it, but I feel like you need more friendship time.
No, they haven't been friends. Remember, and the story is you abandoned me.
Right. Well,
you're my best friend. You freaking left me here to rot in Japan while you hung out with your buddies in America. You forgot about me.
But they've been playing the seeds for this Kotobushi thing for a few months.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Kenny's not here. Kenny's in Japan. Kenny's blah, 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 blah. If they pick up this storyline, I don't think it has to be now. I think it could be in the future. You know, I think it could be after the match. Like Koda helps them win, and then that's when the turn comes.
I want it now. Me. But
Okay.
it doesn't have to be the right story. Listen, I don't know what they're planning. I'll find out. But I think they have a great, tremendous opportunity to do something very unique here.
Goosebumps, though.
Yeah, man.
Goosebumps.
I like it. I like Kotobushi.
I think this is also going to be the first exposure for. It's a prime time audience. It's not a pay-per-view. It's not a pay-per-view debut, right? This is going to be the first exposure for a lot of people for Kotobushi, and I think they're going to go apeshit for him.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's great. Great shape.
Yeah.
Immortal. He's an immortal 41-year-old. What else do we got? We got Rampage tonight. Willow Nightingale versus Athena. Owen Hart tournament semifinal. Lance Archer. Is this the return of Lance Archer? Or has he had matches
I haven't seen him in a while.
on Rampage? Versus Trent Beretta. Takeshita will be in action. Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes. I like that team up. Versus Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. We'll hear from Tony Storm. And we'll hear from the Dark Order.
Great. AEW Collision on Saturday. I'm looking forward to this. FTR defends the AEW Tag Team titles against Switchblade, Jay White, and Juice Robinson in a 2 out of 3 pinfall match. Last week's match was fantastic. I liked it better than the CM Punk match, and I thought the CM Punk match was very good with Joe. CM Punk versus Ricky Starks in the men's Owen Hart tournament finals. I would expect there's some funky finish here, and Joe costs him the match, and they have another match.
Yeah.
Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale or Athena in the women's Owen Hart tournament. If you guys want a spoiler, I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds for the people that don't want a spoiler, and I'm going to spoil it for you.
Spoiler alert.
It's Willow.
Womp womp.
Luchasaurus defends the TNT title against Shawn Spears for Battle of the Belts. AEW Dynamite next week. Obviously, we have the big blood and guts match for the Boston show at TD Garden. There's only one garden, guys.
There's only
the Madison.
Yeah.
It's the one in Madison.
It's the Madison.
It's the Madison.
It's the Madison Garden.
Yeah. And WWE will be running the Sphere, by the way. I did find that out.
Really? That thing
will
is
be running the Sphere.
bananas.
Yeah.
Do you
They're talking about it right now.
Do you think that's why the spaceship crashed in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago? Because it saw the Sphere light up and just like...
Dude, that Sphere is gnarly.
Nuts, dude.
Yeah.
It's so... I kind of did it's mesmerizing. I did a deep dive.
We saw it when we were in Vegas.
We saw it being built.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And it was so big, like up close. But like to see the stuff that they're putting on that screen is wild, dude.
Dude, the freaking eyeball.
The eyeball. They made
Someone's going to crash a car. Okay?
I think so.
And then they're going to be like, guys, you got to turn it off.
Or a plane.
Or a plane.
Or like a little Cessna or something, you know?
They're going to go right in it.
Because they do a wormhole graphic. So, like, imagine if, like, I hope it never happens, but like, if you're in a Cessna and you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, and you're like, and you're like, I'm going to fly into it.
You know the hypnotizing thing?
Yeah.
They're going to put that up. The whole entire county is going to be mesmerized.
MK Ultra. That's how they bring it back.
That's how they do it.
They're going to do the spinny thing. They're going to mesmerize the entirety of Las Vegas.
This guy's an MK Ultra.
They're just going to put, he was one of the original participants.
Can you
in
believe
MK Ultra.
he went to Yale?
Willing participant.
He went to
MK
Berkeley. This guy, he went to UCLA Berkeley.
Wow.
This is what happened.
He went to MIT too.
He went to MIT also. He was now he lives in a cabin taking wires and putting them together. I don't know what that's called.
I hear this guy's got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, I hear this guy's got a lot of good ideas.
John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Kenosuke Takeshita, and Pac versus Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi in a blood and guts match. Do you think there's going to be a lot of blood?
I think there's going to be a lot of guts.
Okay. They're just going to throw fish guts at each other.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this match, man. This is like, I'm so excited about this.
MG Geek needs to change his name to MK Geek.
That's his final form, MK Ultra Geek.
Dude, he's an MK Ultra. I'm telling you. He's like the Manchurian Candidate. We know what triggers him.
Give me the double.
1, 2, 6. All right. I don't want to say it because then he'll get wonky. I had to mute the audio. Then it malfunctions.
He's wearing a shirt that says "Fuck Ball Revere."
Look at him.
Oh boy! All right.
You know what he was doing?
What was he doing?
What was he doing? He was going up to like random people at the wrestling show when we were there.
Yeah.
He's like, "You guys want to see my knives?"
And I
was like, "Dude, you can't do that." And how did you bring knives into the building?
Oh, I got my ways.
You want to see my knives?
Oh boy! All right. Questions.
Get questions in, people.
He loves it.
Send us your questions, guys, and we will do our best to answer them. I got a couple on Twitter here. I don't know if we could pull it up because the API is broken, but how does AEW expect fans to buy pay-per-views 2 weeks in a row, bundle or not? I mean, you could bundle it.
Yeah.
Or you could not. You could charge everybody $50, and a lot of people will pay, but you're going to make a decision. But I think that they should be bundling this.
Mm-hmm.
It's too close. It's really close.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still figuring it out. I mean, that says that they don't have a direct answer. So, have you seen the new Ninja Turtles movie? What are your thoughts? I have not.
Did it even come out yet?
I don't know.
No, it looks awesome.
What do you think of the new Ninja Turtles movie?
It looks awesome.
Why'd they change April O'Neil?
Who cares?
I know, but why did they change her?
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
I had a thing for April O'Neil.
I know. Everybody did.
Yeah.
I think with characters like that are on the fringe, the story's not about April O'Neil.
Oh, yes,
it's about the fucking turts, bro.
Dude, she wants to bang the turtles.
It's about the turts.
No, she wants to bang the turtles. And
I think
Raphael
Raphael's in love with her.
Raphael wants to bang April O'Neil.
But there's Casey Jones also.
Casey Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Love him.
Yeah. Casey Jones, fan favorite.
Jason
Mask, yeah. The new turts look awesome. They actually gave the turtles varying personalities, more so than usual.
I miss the old costume, like Ninja Turtles 1. That was a dark-ass movie.
1 and 2, fantastic.
1 and 2 were so good. 3 was terrible.
Turtles in Time?
Turtles in Time sucked.
Yeah. I still went to the theater and saw it when I was a kid. We're kids, Yeah. That first turts, man. Ooh, baby. Let's see what we got here. Can Keith Lee have a run at the title already?
No, because there's been a lot of stop and go with him.
Mm.
They got to solidify him as a dominant star.
Why, MG? Why am I only seeing like 4 things on the screen?
Because that's all the questions we've gotten. I was trying to get people to put more questions in.
It looks like there's a lot more questions that you haven't gotten to. James 123. Now that Roman is pulling almost 2.8 to 3 million for his segments and selling out arenas, his next appearance in SmackDown sold out already. Do you think he can be in a discussion of being the biggest draw?
He will be in discussion as one of the greatest.
Yeah.
One of the greatest champions. He's about to pass. What did he just pass? He passed something. He passed one of Hogan's. Who did he just pass?
That's interesting. I see like those numbers are always kind of tricky, right? Where like,
because they didn't wrestle all the time.
Right. Cause like you can clearly thank a Steve Austin for selling out arenas, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same mentality now where the guys backstage are like, thank you, Roman? You always heard those stories where guys would go up to Steve Austin and be like, yo, thanks for the extra money.
Yeah.
Because everybody would get paid. It would have like that trickle down, right? Like if the arena sells out because Austin's there, everybody's getting a little bump in pay.
Okay, so here's where it gets tricky, right? If you look at the ranking here for WWE champion, right? Because Roman has 2 consecutive reigns going on. 2,803 days is Bruno. 1474 is Hogan. 1470 is Backlund. 1237 is
Pedro Morales.
And Backlund 648 for, I guess, his second reign? No, his first reign? Why is it twice? Why do you have 2 for Bob Backlund?
Okay.
And then you have 467 plus for Roman. So it's wacky how they're doing this. But if you combine everything, like what his Universal Championship is the number, right? That's the number we're looking at. Days held. Roman is at 1048.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
And who's number 1? Bruno? Bruno's will always be number 1.
Bruno will always be number 1.
It's 80,000, right?
It's 8,000 days.
8,000
Yeah,
days.
he's still champion.
Yeah.
It's Bruno, then Hogan.
Oh, brother.
2,800 days.
One more match, brother. Me and Roman.
You think Hogan thinks about that all the time?
Absolutely.
Like, I could do one more.
I think he had a hard time coming to the fact that he can't wrestle anymore because of his botched back surgeries. But I think if that didn't happen, man, you'd see one last Hogan.
You would see one last Hogan.
Who do you think it would be against? If Hogan would wrestle right now, one last match, would it be an indie or would it be on?
No, it would have to be a big deal.
It have to be WWE?
Yeah.
Or would it? He would. I don't think WWE would medically clear him.
They could do like a European tour.
Mm-hmm. True.
You know, they could do like whatever Bill Goldberg is planning on doing.
AEW.
No, they won't have him.
No. They wouldn't take Hogan.
Mm-mm.
Hogan versus Big Cass. Hogan versus Kenny Omega.
He could barely walk this guy. Oh my god! Can you imagine him doing a V trigger?
He steals Kenny's moves.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great ending to the match if, like, you know,
Hogan hooks up and does a V trigger.
Right. He's just like, you know, you think the leg is coming, but it's just a giant V trigger.
I'm doing it. I'm going to the top rope, brother.
and he does the Terminator move.
Yeah.
Just like the tope outside. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Any chance MJF finished? This is from Chaz Shaw. Any chance MJF and Cole finish this story as friends? I doubt it, but I'm loving their friendship and don't want to see it end in a turn.
It's gonna end. Has to end.
I think it's gonna be the double. Oh, that classic double turn. Adam Cole turns on MJF.
Oh man, I would love that.
And Roddy and Cole are like the new bad boy tag teams.
I like that as a bad boy tag team.
Roddy. I like Roddy's reactions of like, oh, come on, what are you doing? What are you doing, Adam Cole? Let's see. Can they put their pay-per-views on Max already?
They can't because Max is not technologically advanced to that point.
Yeah. Hashtag Ask Mattmen. How would you fix Ring of Honor?
I don't think. Ooh, I dropped this. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ring of Honor.
No.
I think the problem is where the hell do you watch it?
Right.
So if you can make this a Max exclusive, I would watch it every week.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go on Honor Club on my computer.
Well, it's a timing thing, right?
It is a timing thing.
Because, like, listen, we'll watch Raw, boom, Monday night. Maybe we won't watch the whole thing, but we'll tune in, right? Bang, NXT, easy, 8 o'clock Tuesday night. Bang, Dynamite, easy, 8 o'clock Wednesday night, right? I skip Rampage because I forget it's on at 10, right? Yeah. I skip SmackDown because I forget it's on Fridays, right? I feel like it's Friday night, whatever. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to watch wrestling. Collision, though, I've pretty much watched every Collision or immediately have been like, I got to watch Collision this week.
Yeah, me too.
Right? And I think...
Also, it's new and fresh, and that's why, too. But I didn't feel like that would Rampage.
Right, same here. Match quality is better, you know, as good as Dynamite, right? It's an interesting show. For Ring of Honor, I feel like it needs something very specific that will make it appointment television. What do you think that is? I think that's a better question. There's nothing wrong with Ring of Honor, right? What do you think it needs to make it appointment television?
It won't be.
Okay.
I don't think in 2024, 2023.
As a wrestling fan.
As a wrestling fan, I don't have enough hours in my day.
Right.
Think about how much you got Raw for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. You got SmackDown for 2, so that's 5 hours right there. Mm-hmm. You have another 5 hours with Ring of Honor, with AEW, so that's 10 hours of wrestling.
Only 2 companies.
With only 2 companies. I'm not even okay. No, I'm sorry. Add a 6th hour.
Okay.
5 hours with Rampage and AEW. Then you got pay-per-views once a month or twice a month, depending. Then you got NXT, which is become solidified as TV. People are watching it. That's 2 hours. Then you got Impact and maybe some New Japan and whatever else. Where does Ring of Honor rank in this?
Right, exactly.
I don't know if you have enough time, and I don't know. The thing that made Ring of Honor special became NXT, and now it became AEW.
Right.
So where, if you want to use them as a developmental, it can do something, but what are you going to do?
Is Ring of Honor like the true island of misfit toys?
I think right now, yeah.
Compared to like Impact, because I feel like it's
I think Impact is more the island of misfit toys.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it in a bad way.
No, not at all.
It's a mishmash of people. Like Bully Ray is there, you know? Like Tommy Dreamer's still there. You got a bunch of. I was gonna say Jason Alexander's there, but that's the wrong Alexander.
Jerry, what am I doing here?
Jerry, I'm a wrestler now. You a wrestler? Wrestle what? What do you mean? Yeah, Jerry, he's a wrestler.
That's a good Jerry.
Yeah, I did a whole segment. That was my whole segment. Kramer comes in the door. Elaine's looking at him like, you can't wrestle.
Can you do that on Observer on Sunday?
You want me to fan fiction George Costanza as a professional wrestler for Ring of Honor?
I want you to start the show like real somber on Sunday and just be like, guys, I hate to do this, but we're going to have a special presentation today. And just do the entire week of wrestling as the entire cast of Seinfeld.
Jerry, you'll never believe who called me. Who called you, George? Tony Khan. Tony Khan called me. Oh, what did he want? I'm a wrestler now, Jerry. I'm a wrestler.
Great. I think your terrible Jerry is your best impression.
It is.
It's the best impression that you do.
Yeah.
I like your Jerry and I like your Fouch.
Listen.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right. Do we have anything else? Do we have another question?
Let's see.
Jerry.
Jonathan is definitely a Kramer.
What's your finisher?
Well, what's your finish?
What's your finisher? You can't. I don't know. Jerry, I'm going to hit him with a clothesline. You can't do a clothesline with clothesline. What's a clothesline?
But no, that's the stand-up bit at the end.
Yeah.
Where Jerry's like, why is it called a clothesline? You don't hang anything on your arms. You don't hang laundry on your arms and run into a guy.
Your Jerry turns into the Cowardly Lion, and it's so good.
That is true. Oh.
Here's a WWE question from Twitter.
Yeah. Hey guys, very good morning.
No, MG, read it.
Hey guys, a very good morning. Just want to know what the plans are for LA
Night. I have no idea, but I got to tell you, in that garden, he came on that pre-show before SmackDown started, and that whole building erupted. It was like 65% seats were filled because everybody was at concessions. The second his music hit, people were running to their seats.
Yeah.
So
very over.
He's hot.
Very over.
Yeah.
This is from Wrestling Joe. Can I quote you on saying All In will air on BR? Is that a done deal?
I believe so.
Andrew Zarian says.
Yeah, you could say that.
Ooh, we got.
Or you could, you know what? If you could wait till I tweet it today.
Yeah, why don't you wait a little bit, Pro Wrestling Joe. Pro Wrestling Joseph. Is that Joey Image?
Joseph Imagination.
This is from Trust the Process. Let's say $4.99 super chat. Thanks, bud. Let's say WWE promised Cody that he'd beat Roman at Mania 40, but then The Rock tells them that he's ready to do the Roman match.
Can I stop you right there?
What do you think WWE
Can
does?
I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Jerry, I got a problem. What's the problem? I gotta wrestle Joseph Imagination. Joseph Imagination? Oh boy.
What kind of name is that?
And then he busts in the door and he's like all leathered up. He's like a leather daddy. He's like, George, you're next. I'm gonna get you. He goes, Jerry, I don't know what to do. I can't do this. And then Kramer screws up the whole thing.
Oh boy. I like it.
I love this. This is so good. So good. All right.
Should we do an episode of Signmen?
Assignment. I love that show so much.
It's great. Listen, MG has only watched one or two episodes. I think if we do a Seinfeld watch along, people would eat it up.
It's too New York for him.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
You know what he means.
It's like,
by
what
that.
the fuck is the Upper
And
West
he
Side?
knows what that means.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Too New York for him.
This man paid $5. Answer his question.
Oh, so sorry.
That's true.
Let's say WWE.
A man
promised,
paid you to dance last week.
WWE promised Cody that he'd beat Roman at WrestleMania 40, but then The Rock tells them he's ready to do the match with Cody. What do you think WWE match with Roman? They go with The Rock.
Or do they do a forbidden triple threat match?
No. They go with The Rock.
They go with The Rock.
190%. They go with The Rock.
I'm not Black Adam anymore.
I'm not Black Adam anymore. Jerry, Black Adam's here. I gotta wrestle Black Adam.
The Rock shows up.
No, The Rock. Why is he The Rock? He doesn't look like a rock. He looks like a man. Why don't they call him Man? The Man.
There you go. That's really good.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that.
Very unhinged episode of the show. The acid's kicking, and Rich's face is melting, so we have to wrap it up here.
Ooh, I'm decomposing. We got to get out of here. Let's do one more question, and then we're out of here. All right. It's July. What are your TV rights predictions for WWE and AEW currently?
WWE, I'm not sure. I would say that NBC would be the smart choice because everything is already integrated in Peacock, and they've invested so much in that infrastructure and getting the content on there. But for AEW, I think they're going to get a nice little contract. Nice big contract. I shouldn't say little.
Yeah. Nice little big contract.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
All right, guys, that's it for today.
Later.
Love you guys, and we will see you all next week.
Thanks for all the birthday wishes.
Thank you.
Love you.